All right, thanks for watching this introduction video of the UnifiNotifi service. We built this to allow home users and businesses to monitor their Unify devices. Unfortunately, the built-in Unify Site Manager and controller notifications are a bit lackluster and don't meet the needs of MSPs and businesses with multiple sites, which is why we were approached by an MSP to actually build this service. We cover the gaps of Unify by adding real-time device status, offline and online notifications, and enhancing the limited notification capabilities Unify already has. So let's go ahead and log into this first-time user after registering it. And because this is our first time logging in, we see a greeting pop up here explaining the initial steps to configure the service. We have a handy link here taking us to the Site Manager API documentation. One thing to note is that as you're configuring that API key, we only need access to Site Manager, not Unify applications. Once you have that API key, we can come back to UnifiNotifi, go to configurations, and paste that key right here. If you need those instructions again, here's a link. Now, the rest of these settings allow us to basically figure out how often we're getting notifications. Time offline before notification is, is how long we want a device to be offline before we get that initial notification. I'm going to be a little aggressive and say 5 minutes. We don't allow 1 minute because frankly, gateways and ISPs often flutter a little bit and we don't want to spam you. The reminder notification interval allows us to get a second email if the device is still offline after a certain amount of time. I'll keep that at default. And then we want to set the time zone to make sure that all of our notifications and everything you see in the service is formatted to the correct time zone so there's no confusion about when things went offline. Once we've done all that, we can click Save Configuration. It'll take us back to the site status page where we can see the status of all of our Unify devices. But because this is the first time coming to this page after adding a new API, and because I'm a free user with multiple sites, it's asking us to select a console from one of the sites to actively monitor. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and select Dunder Mifflin. Now let's explore this UI a little bit. When you make a change, you'll get a nice banner up here. We also have this green check mark that tells you the last time we successfully pulled the API. This happens about once every minute. If this fails for some reason because the Site Manager API is inaccessible or perhaps the API key has expired or been pulled, you'll get a notification from us saying that, hey, we're no longer able to contact Site Manager with your API key. The offline devices have all of your monitored devices here. So if there's a monitored offline device, it'll show up here. This is basically your big red flag, right? This is what you want to pay attention to. Devices that you're not actively monitoring show up here. This is a nice passive way to be able to manage and monitor the rest of your estate. And then you can explore all your devices both online and offline under the All Devices table. When we selected Dunder Mifflin Scranton for the default console, we see that it's being monitored. We also automatically type the device. Now, if Unify releases a new device and for some reason it doesn't automatically classify it, you can always change this here. Generally, they're pretty accurate. Even though a free user is restricted to monitoring a single device, you can switch which device you're monitoring at any time. You go to Actions, Enable Alerts, you get this gentle reminder, and confirm that you want to switch to the new device. It's that easy. If we take a quick look at some of our other sites here, we see that Wayne Manor's having a very bad day. Bruce is not happy, and the Joker is probably laughing. What I will note here is that you see these are all yellow, and if we look at the legend on the bottom here, that's basically saying that until the 5 minute interval has passed, they'll be in the recently offline state, and after that 5 minute interval, they'll have reached the critical threshold where a notification will be sent if they were not suppressed. To wrap up the user interface here, we've got the upgrade button that allows you to upgrade to a premium tier or a business tier user. Premium allows you to monitor all the devices in a single site. You can only monitor one site at a time, but you can still have multiple sites under your API. Business tier allows you to monitor all sites, all devices, no limits. We have a support dropdown here that gives you access to frequently asked questions as well as to contact support. And to put a bow on it, we've developed this service to be a free service for home users and a paid power service for businesses monitoring multiple Unify sites. We've gone through a number of security audits and professional penetration testing to ensure that the very limited data we work with is safe and secure. We look forward to you trying this out for free and giving us your feedback. Thank you.